Jeff, it's back. Game of Thrones is back. Are you excited?
Yeah.
That didn't sound very excited.
Let's just say I'm prepared to be underwhelmed.
That's such a pessimistic outlook in life. What do you live in Westeros?
I live in reality where the last season was kind of whack. I mean, there's some really good moments, but at the same time, it didn't feel as Game of Thrones-y as the other seasons did. So that's where I'm coming from.
They blew through they threw out any type of suspension of disbelief in terms of timing. We're just like, we don't care about how things happen. You just care about that they're happening.
Yeah, and I did not like that. I was not a fan. They are just jumping around, teleporting to different locations, and it was just not in the style of the Game of Thrones that I know, watching the other seasons at least.
Is it going to cheer you up if they kill everybody?
Not really. I mean, I don't think that's a solution either.
Well, that's what we're talking about today, folks, on Nerd Blaze. I don't have a really name for this video. We just like Game of Thrones, and we're going to talk about who we think is going to bite the bullet and who has the best chance of surviving at the end. So, Jeff, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So, you're ready.
I want to say it twice.
Oh, you can say it twice right now. Go ahead.
I think I already did. I said whispered I'm ready. So if I say it again, it'll be a third time. So.
And you can't do that. Then you have to go all the way around back to zero. Okay. So I guess looking at our main cast of characters, the three big ones, the three-headed dragon is foretold in the prophecy. I'm not sure if that's how that works. I'm not sure of the prophecy, and I only know that. But the Daenerys, Jon, and Tyrion, they're our main three. Do they survive?
Daenerys? Why'd you say it like that?
What? Daenerys?
Daenerys?
How do you say her name?
Isn't it Daenerys?
I've heard it both ways. I'm just a low-born, flea-bottom onion smuggler. I don't. Some of the names are difficult to pronounce. Daenerys, Dany.
Sure.
Khaleesi.
Dany.
So Khaleesi, Jon, Tyrion. Who's biting the bullet?
I think Daenerys has the highest chance of dying.
I don't think they can kill her. Not like that. I think Jon
Why
has
not?
I think Jon has a better chance of dying.
I don't think Jon would die again. That would be kind of dumb.
That's what friend of the podcast Jake said. That he said Jon, he's already died. He can't do it again. But my thing is he came back to life in order to die in what
again?
To die in battle, because that's not his true purpose. He's going to die fighting the White Walkers because he's the only one who can do it.
Well, I mean, on that note, have you heard of the prophecies of how the White Walkers might be defeated?
By Azor-Ahai?
Yeah, correct. Azor-Ahai. Azor-Ahai.
Azor-Ahai. Man, it sounds like I don't watch Game of Thrones.
So Azor-Ahai, one of the theories is that Jon is Azor-Ahai, and in the legend foretells that Azor-Ahai had a flaming sword that he created by plunging the blade into the heart of the woman that he loved. And so I think that somehow Jon is going to have to kill Dany or sacrifice Dany or something, and that will ignite some power or some flaming sword that will be able to defeat the White Walkers. And I think Daenerys' arc is pretty much, well, I guess I'm not going to say it's pretty much done. There's still some things left to be explored, but she's the last of her kind. She's kind of like the Dragon Queen, right?
Yeah.
And I think the dragons are not meant for the world moving forward. I think this is going to be the last of the dragons.
So you think her final kind of arc, because her story has been like she wants to rise up to break the wheel, right? To start the revolution, to free everybody. And you think the only way that comes to a satisfying conclusion, or not even, I guess, satisfying, but just a conclusion itself, is if she dies with the dragons and then that's it. And maybe her death inspires that breaking of the wheel that she fought so hard for.
Well, I mean, the other thing is whoever has the dragons has the power. And you can't really break the wheel when you have one person that has all the power. So, yeah, I think if she wants the revolution to really happen, then at least her dragons have to go. There's also some speculation as to which direction she will go in, because she's kind of gone both ways in terms of being a benevolent ruler and also being kind of a mad king type where she burns her enemies alive. Granted that the people that have burned alive because of her, I think, deserved it for the most part, but
Frickin' Tarleys.
Well, I mean, except for them. See, that's the thing. That's kind of evidence of like, well, could she become the new mad queen, like her father Aegon? Was it her father Aegon? No.
Yeah. Aegar.
I don't know if Aegon was the right word, but
Isn't Aegar?
But anyways,
Aegon. Mad King.
Yeah. So she might become the new mad queen, and because of that, I think it would be fitting if she died. And like her surviving, like what's the path if she survives? Like, what do you think? You think she's gonna live? So what do you think is gonna happen if she lives?
That she's gonna live, but I think somebody whose opinion I respect a lot once told me that they think that the series is going to end with Westeros splitting up, that there is no Iron Throne, that they're going to divide their lands up, and there is no kind of reigning monarchy. And I think that's kind of befitting of if it goes that route, if Daenerys has worked so hard to be queen, but then has to let go of that dream in order to know that the best way to break the wheel is by really splitting it up and just by leading her own King's Landing area.
Didn't I tell you that theory?
Was that you? I'm not sure.
You don't respect my opinion?
I do. I said I respected someone whose opinion I respect.
Oh, okay. Well, I see you didn't respect. But yeah, I mean that's how I think it's going to happen. I don't think the Iron Throne is going to last very long. And yeah, breaking the wheel would mean breaking the like you said, the overarching monarchy that rules all of Westeros. So that means then that either they separate into, their own factions and they just rule themselves that way. There's 7 kingdoms again.
Sure.
Or however many kingdoms there are. Or they become like a republic kind of thing where they have like representatives from each nation or kingdom.
Oh, it sounds so politicky. More dragon burning.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole new kind of wheel right there. But it would be a breaking of the old, I guess, and that would be an interesting ending. I mean, yeah.
So I think that's going to be our main point as we watch this series, because we're going to watch it and we're probably going to review it. That you think Daenerys is going to die, I think Jon's going to die. That'll be our big thing. But what about other characters? What about Tyrion? Tyrion survives, right? No way Tyrion dies.
Yeah, I think Tyrion has a good chance of surviving.
Will he be hand, or will he? Because he mentioned 2 seasons ago, or last season, I forgot which. 2 seasons ago, it was 2 seasons ago, that he wanted to own his own vineyard in the country and make his own wine and share with all of his friends.
That would be a super happy ending. I don't know if he's gonna.
Because he's either hand, right? But if Jon is the king, is he hand to Jon? I mean, I would have Tyrion as my hand instead of Davos. Sorry, Davos.
Well, I don't even think Jon's gonna be king.
Oh, you think he's gonna? Oh, okay, so he's not even
like
king.
If Jon survives. If Jon were to survive, my thinking is that he's gonna kind of like disappear. Like here's what I think is gonna happen. So Dany's gonna die somehow. Jon is gonna win it in the fight against the White Walkers. Maybe Jon gets a dragon that he gets to keep. And maybe Jon is like the last Targaryen, and the dragon is the last dragon. And Jon knows he's not a man for power. He never really wants to rule other than to defend his homeland. But in terms of being an actual political force, like I think he doesn't like being in courts and that kind of thing. And imagining Jon as the king, like sitting on a throne of anything, I don't know. I don't think he's kind of cut out for that, especially not in King's Landing, of all places. So I think Jon and his dragon buddy, they're gonna go off into Essos or something, and just kind of fuck off because of the grief of everything he's gone through. He's just gonna say "fuck you" to Westeros and just kind of go away.
So really, what I'm hearing is that you're explaining the ending of Voltron. That his love is gonna die, and he's gonna go off and be a farmer somewhere, and then also become Altan.
No,
so he's Lance in this.
I'm not saying he's going to start a farm and have fucking
what else
Targaryen marks on his face.
In Essos. I think that's what's going to happen. Danny's going to look at him, and then Jon's hair is going to turn white.
I mean, there have been stories in the past, other than Voltron, where the hero goes off and disappears, and we never hear of him again because his purpose is gone. I can think of a couple examples, but they're both video game examples. So I don't know.
If it happens like that, the first thing I'm going to think of is Voltron.
Okay.
If they kill off Daenerys, the princess, and her love is sad that he goes off on his own.
But we don't get to see what happens to Jon, is the thing. And so, like, Lance in Voltron... I mean, this is spoilery for fucking Voltron, first of all. But I don't care. I don't give a fuck. We know what happens to Lance. He starts a farm, and he's all happy and shit. Well, with what I'm saying with Jon is he kind of walks off into the sunset, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know what happens to him. Maybe he becomes a distant hero in some far-off land or something. Or maybe he does start a farm. We just don't know what happens to him.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I know another example, actually. An anime example. I don't know if I'm going to share any of these because I don't know if it's spoilery, but I'm just saying there's other examples. Yes, you have seen it.
Huh. Okay, well that's fine. It happened. I'm just saying that if that happens, I'm just gonna see a little bit of Voltron's ending of that, and I hated the Voltron ending, so I don't want it to happen that way. That's all I'm saying.
So you want Jon to be king?
No, I want Daenerys to be queen.
Oh yeah, you think Jon's gonna die?
Yeah, Jon's gonna die in battle because there's no place for him. He's not gonna be King of the North in Winterfell or Warden of the North because that's Sansa's, I think, ultimate destiny. You know, he's not going to sit on the throne because he'd be miserable. He can't go back to the Wall and be Lord Commander. It doesn't make sense that he's going to go off on his own because the North is his home. He's been there his whole life, and he lives and dies in the North. The North is going to be it. He's dead.
Okay.
All right, and then so let's move on to everyone's favorite ancestral couple, Cersei and Jaime.
Well, we never talked about Tyrion.
We went back to Dany and Jon. Yeah, I think Tyrion survives. I think he's going to survive.
I think he survives. I think his tongue gets cut off somehow, and he does get a vineyard. I mean, he gets a vineyard. We'll give him that, but he needs some kind of tragedy.
Okay.
Beyond that.
Okay, so let's move on to the other Lannisters, Cersei and Jaime. Cersei's got to bite the big one, and it seems like Jaime's got to kill her, right?
Yeah, I think they're both dead. I think, well, because that's also part of the prophecy that Cersei heard was I think they both came into the world and they'll both exit the world the same way or something like that.
I heard another theory of that. This one's completely my own, and Jake's not here to say that I stole it from him. That Jaime is actually Azor Ahai, and that when he kills Cersei, that's going to be his ultimate destiny. And he doesn't die at the end of the show, but he becomes the new Lord Commander of the Watch. And I think that actually makes a lot of sense after I heard it, because the Night's Watch is all about honor and taking vows and keeping them and not breaking them. And for Jaime at the end of the series to go off and join an organization where it's all about vows and promises, I think is great for his character.
That's actually interesting. I don't think I've heard that theory.
Completely my own, 100%.
That's pretty original. But yeah, I imagine Jaime stabbing Cersei, and then they both blow up together. Because Cersei's gonna blow shit up somehow. Because there's still lots of Dragonfire, I think it's called. Basically, big explosive stuff. The stuff she used to destroy the set in a couple seasons ago. I think that's going to play a part. I think she's going to try and I think she's actually going to be the reason why there will be no Iron Throne, maybe.
So just blow it all up.
She just blow it all up, and maybe Jaime comes in, and he's like, I'm going to kill you, but it's not going to do anything, but I'm going to do it anyways, because someone's got to do it. And then he stabs her.
I think you're losing less credibility as you go on with this.
And then he blows up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any strong opinions on how they die. I just think they're both going to die.
They're both going to die. We agree that Cersei's going to die. Does she get any sort of redemption? Or is she wicked all the way through?
I don't know. There is talk of because Tyrion and Cersei made a deal, right, in the last season. We never really know what deal they made.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter. Cersei automatically is breaking it.
Is she though? I mean,
yeah. Remember, Tyrion left that meeting saying she's going to come with us to the north. Woohoo! And then Cersei told James, "Do you think I would honestly follow that deal?"
Well, I'm just saying there might be other details that have been left out because we don't actually see their actual conversation, which is, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's kind of boring to watch two people talk like that.
Not Cersei and Tyrion. They're like amazing together.
Exactly, which is why I think that the reason they cut that scene, or the reason we don't see them talk, is because there's some twist involved in the deal that they made.
I just think it was a long finale. We didn't have the time. That was the outcome.
All right.
Okay, so the Stark children who have turned into psychopaths, Sansa, Arya, and Bran. I don't think any of them die. I think Sansa's Lady of Winterfell. Arya goes off to explore the world. I think she follows that Jon role that you want Jon to go through, that she goes off. And Bran goes to live in a tree, I think, for Three-Eyed Raven.
Well, he becomes a new tree god, Three-Eyed Raven dude.
Yeah.
I think Arya's going to die because I think there should be some Stark deaths this season. And because I don't think it's going to be Jon, I think the next thing is going to be Arya, because Arya is essentially, her arc has kind of come to a close, I think. I mean, the only person that she has left to kill is Cersei, but I mean, Cersei's way far off. I don't think she's going to have the opportunity to kill her.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe she does. Maybe she's the one that kills her and explodes with Jaime. Maybe Jaime and Arya gang up on Cersei, and they both stab her. And they all blow up together.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind on the back burner as a theory.
Other theory though is White Walker, the war with the White Walkers. There's got to be some main character deaths in that one, I think, and that would be another good one, I think, for Arya to die in another situation, because there's a clip in the trailer where she's like running away from something.
Yeah.
And maybe she's running away from like a White Walker and she dies there or something like that.
One, they would not show the lead up to her death in a trailer. Like they would keep that a complete surprise. Two, I don't think that's fitting for her just to die from. I think she's going to survive. I think she's got this.
I don't know. Assassin abilities in a war are useful, but against overwhelming numbers and against things that don't die at a normal steal. Then again, they are going to have a bunch of dragon glass, so I guess they have that going for them.
Yeah, then her goal would be, she's not going to be a fighter like on the battlefield, but I bet her goal during the battle, she has to retrieve something from somewhere and do it sneakily. That's her mission. She's the thief.
And then she dies.
All right, so I guess those are like the main characters. Let's go to some side characters, because I think these are much more good fodder for people. Everyone was at the Battle of Winterfell. Let's kind of go through them and see if they're gonna die. Brienne of Tarth, big woman, honor bound. Does she die?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think she's gonna stay in Winterfell with Sansa. I think she survives.
Yeah.
What about her two great loves of her life, Tormund and the Hound?
I think, well, there's always a speculation called Clegane Bowl.
Yeah, and that's got to happen. That's absolutely
100%
have got to happen.
So I guess we could start there. So in the Battle of Winterfell, I don't think the Hound will die, because I imagine that happening before the encounter with him and Clegane.
Yeah, they got to go back to Winter.
Clegane.
They got to go back to King's Landing. It seems like.
So then, do you think that he's going to die against Clegane? Are they going to kill each other, or is Clegane going to die to the Hound?
I think that would be fitting if they both die there
During their fight.
Yeah, during the fight. Yeah.
I mean, Clegane is technically already dead.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think the Hound is gonna survive against that fight.
Okay.
Seems fitting. Although then again, that would be too happy of an ending. Now that I think about it, maybe we're looking at this with because I think
rose-colored goggles.
Yeah, like I think if everything kind of fell into place the way we expected it to, it would be almost disappointing. So I guess what would be the wildest thing for the Hound?
Well, he's definitely. Well, we know he's got to beat his brother. So the thing is that he beats his brother, or he doesn't. I guess that would be the saddest thing. But we've already had that fight before. That's exactly the Oberon Mountain fight, where you assume Oberon's going to win because he's the good guy, and then his head pops like a grape. So they can't go that route again. So the Hound has to come out on top against the Mountain. And then if he disappears or he goes off on his own to go rebuild a church, like he was doing with that one dude, or fully joins the Brotherhood of Banners or Brothers Without Banners, maybe. But I just think it's more fitting if he dies at the battle. That's the Hound's story. He was destined to be the only one who could beat his brother.
I think he does it with a flaming sword because he's afraid of fire. So him taming fire and using it against his brother would be very fitting.
I see that, and I see that. I think Hound deserves kind of a happy ending because he's been through some shit.
Yeah, I guess so.
Tormund. What about? I think Tormund could die.
Yeah, I think Tormund is definitely disposable. He's mostly there for comic relief, I guess, and I guess as a friend to Jon as well. And
just a good fighter.
He's a representative of the wildlings. Really, we don't have any like wildling characters other than him. Him and Jilly, basically. But Jilly's not really... I don't really see her as much as a wildling anymore.
Ooh,
now that she's with...
the only thing I would say, if Jon does not die, even though I think he is going to die, but if he doesn't, Tormund dies, Jon is the new leader of the wildlings. That's what he does, and he takes them somewhere else. He takes them back up north to be a new society.
That would be interesting. Although, do the wildlings... Do they respect Jon without Tormund? Because isn't Tormund kind of the leader right now?
Yeah, Tormund's the leader.
I guess they would respect him because he's a fighter and all that. They live with them and stuff.
After White Walkers invade everything and wipe out everything, I mean, that was just like, I'll follow this guy, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think Tormund will die during the battle then.
Okay. Jorah.
Oh, man. So Jorah doesn't have the stone skin disease anymore.
Nope, he's fine.
He kind of killed it for me, honestly. I think it would have been cool if he just did some heroic shit and then died of stone disease. Very tragic.
He had to go out and get that right from the north.
That's true. I think Jorah dies also.
Yeah, I think Jorah's going to die. He's going to die for Khaleesi. And maybe he'll get a kiss on the cheek and she'll say like, I banged Jon. Sorry.
Oof. Friend zones.
Davos.
I think Davos lives, and he goes back to being a smuggler.
He needs a child, man. Every child he gets close to dies.
Yeah, maybe he'll start a family. Who knows?
Maybe he'll go over to the Mormonts and be over there and be with Laura Mormont. Lauren Mormont.
Oh yeah, like the
kick-ass character,
little girl. Yeah.
Yeah, Davos. I think Davos survives. What about Grey Worm?
I think Grey Worm dies too.
I think Grey Worm's got to bite it.
Yeah.
Does that mean
to have a heroic death?
Does Missandei die, or does Missandei survive to be by Daenerys' side? Because in my theory, she does not die.
I mean, I don't even know.
She could take it or leave it.
Yeah, I have really no strong opinions about Missandei. I mean, because if she lives, I don't really know what happens to her. Because in my world, Daenerys is dead, so who would she serve in that case? But maybe that's war. You don't really things don't fall into place. Maybe she goes back to Essos. I don't know.
All right. Okay. I guess a kind of important one because his Gendry. What about Gendry? Gendry's an interesting character. I think he has potential because if the king or whoever makes him a legitimate Baratheon, then he has a rightful claim to the throne.
He has a rightful claim to the throne, or he could just go back to was it Storm's Landing or something, or whatever the Baratheon nation is and whatever their castle is. He could just go back to that.
Yeah, be a leader.
I don't know. He's the blacksmith, right? He's the guy that's gonna make the dragon steel and stuff.
Sure, but it's not like the only one. There's a ton of blacksmiths out there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to figure out what his role was in the story.
Yeah.
But then, do you think he's gonna become a fighter? Like he's gonna be one of the frontline dudes?
I think so. He seems hungry to fight with his hammer, and I want to see him smash some people with hammers. He's gonna be like his father because he knows his father was such a big fighter with the hammer that
That's true. Yeah, and this could be an interesting opportunity for him and Arya to team up, since they're old friends, they're old pals,
Yeah.
old chums.
A lot of people ship them, that they should reunite and be together. But I don't think that fits for Arya's character. Even though it would make sense for Gendry if they stick with the ways of old and how marriage works, it would make sense if Robert the Baratheon marries Sansa.
Wow. That would be something else.
Wouldn't it? Doesn't it make sense that way? If there's he's an eligible lord, maybe if they legitimize him.
Yeah, but I don't know if Sansa is gonna get with anyone anymore though.
Yeah.
She's kind of had a history of fucked up relationships, so. And I think she likes being the one with power. So if she marries someone, I think she kind of loses some of that. So maybe I don't think she's gonna end up with anyone.
Yeah, I just think not enough time to explore. Unless it flash forward to 10 years, what's everyone up to now? She's married to somebody. I don't think they'll go that route. That sounds weird. Okay,
but
okay.
I think he'll survive ultimately.
Okay. What about everyone's favorite fish people, the Greyjoys, Theon and Yara?
Oh, geez, I completely forgot about them.
Yeah, their storyline. I bet this one is that they're taking on Euron, and
oh, that's true.
And Theon's trying to rescue Yara. So I don't think both of them can survive. Which one has the higher probability of dying, Theon or Yara?
I think Yara. I think Theon has lived a very tough life.
Yeah,
and he's done some fucked up shit.
Yeah,
yeah, and but we haven't really seen him, really reclaim that warrior spirit that he once had. And I think it would be fitting if he ended up killing Euron after maybe Euron kills Yara somehow. That's a whole other storyline. I totally forgot.
Yeah, it's something they also have to wrap up in 6 episodes.
Although the way I've been thinking about it is because each episode is 2 hours long, right?
No, the first 2 episodes are normal length, and then the next episodes are about an hour 20 minutes. The first 3 episodes are I think 50-ish minutes or so, and then the last 3 episodes are about 80 minutes each.
Oh wow, I thought they were all going to be about movie length.
Nope.
Wow. Damn. Yeah, that's because the way I've been thinking about it is originally I was think of it as 6 movies. And, if you think about it that way, I think they could actually wrap up a lot of the storylines. But if it's only 3, then in that case, I don't know. That's going to be kind of pushing it. That's why I'm reluctant about this season. That's why I don't know if I'm going to be.
Yeah, it's so I don't know how they're going to do anything. But the Greyjoys, I don't know. I don't know if I want the Greyjoys to be happy. Greyjoys should just be their own island. They're cool, but I think Theon's got to die. I think Theon's dying.
Oh yeah, I guess that would make sense too if he sacrificed himself
for someone he believes is the rightful ruler, which is Yara.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That would be breaking the wheel, right? Yara being the new leader.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, I don't know if are the Greyjoys usually patriarchal or.
The Greyjoys, they said they never had a female ruler before, but then everyone, the Greyjoys are very fickle people. They're we've never had a female ruler before, and everyone's yeah. And then Theon stood up and she's she's great, and everyone's yeah. So, the Theon will follow, the Greyjoys will follow anybody who makes a speech at them. If they go, there's White Walkers, they're great, everyone will be yeah.
Yeah. Mindless drones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could take them or leave them, honestly. I don't know. I don't really care so much for that storyline, do you?
Not really. If the Greyjoys disappeared, I would rather devote all this time to this White Walker war.
Totally agree.
Okay. And then the last, I think, kind of big character, I guess Podrick, really quick.
Yeah.
Live or die.
Podrick lives and becomes the greatest knight in all of Westeros.
That's good.
And all the ladies love him.
I think Podrick's going to die, saving Brienne.
Ooh, that would be, that would definitely be in the vein of Game of Thrones tragedy that we would not expect. Yeah, that makes more sense to me than a happy ending.
And then, finally, Bronn, everyone's favorite sellsword. Does he get his castle?
I mean, if we, in the same vein of tragic deaths, I think not. Maybe he dies too. I would like for him to survive and he gets his castle, but at the same time, I don't know if that's really Bronn,
It would be great if him, Let's see who can we group together. Just Bronn and Podrick, maybe somebody else. No, just Bronn and Podrick. They die together. They're surrounded by White Walkers. They know they're gonna die. Smile at each other. They fight. They die.
Just as like, hey, we're both side characters.
No, like they have the relationship. They knew each other.
I guess so. Well, they were both in the service of
Tyrion, and they were like the three best friends. And remember when and then Bronn snuck up on him, and then Bronn took Podrick away in that final episode. It's like, let's go have a drink.
That's true. Did Bronn teach him some things too?
Kind of.
I vaguely remember
in that like 5-minute meeting. It was just the rule number 1 of just like, okay, just assume everybody wants to hit you.
Yeah.
And to fight dirty.
That's good enough for them to be best friends, right?
Yeah. All right, that's about all of our characters, I think. Not everyone's going to survive. A lot of people will probably die. Hopefully a lot of people die. It would be more amazing if everyone here survives. Oh, Varys. I guess Varys is the last one. Spider, quickly, live or die.
Die.
He's dying. Dies for the realm, because the Red Witch, who is another character, who also says she's going to die there. So yeah, I guess, Varys dead. Red Witch dead. And then...
They'll blow up.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm excited for this last season. You? But any more? Did this conversation spark your enjoyment and renew your passion and love and you think this last season is going to be everything you want it to be?
No.
Dang. Then we failed our mission. Well, thank you all very much. We'll be back probably later at some point because we like talking about Game of Thrones as the episodes go on and we get to see how all of our predictions were wrong. So thank you very much. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.